So this is the fun part. You're finally going to put all the pieces together that you've been working on all semester long. Remember, you should be on Weebly, and Weebly is where you started and created your treasure hunt, perhaps. Well, we also are going to look at how to create your technology-rich unit plan. Go to Weebly.com and log into your particular site. Remember, within your site, you can create multiple pages. And so we'll be creating additional pages. Mine is still within our EdApps class, so I'm going to click as I log in. I can see the different sites that I have created. This is the one I'm going to edit. And basically, if you recall, this is a drag and drop creation. So I'm going to go to my Pages tab, choose the page that I've designated as being my Technology Rich Unit Plan. You probably don't have one of those yet. So once you click on the Pages tab, you want to click on Add a Page. And once you've added that page, then you'll name it Technology Rich Unit Plan. And at the bottom, you'll save the settings. I'm going to go ahead and click on Technology Rich Unit Plan so it will take me to that page. I want to edit that page. Now, this is a fairly easy way to construct tables, more or less, in here. They're not strict tables with hard lines, but it gives us the flexibility we need. Part of the rubric for your Technology Rich Unit Plan is that you need to include more than one subject area. So while the assignment probably lives in one particular subject area, maybe it's science, you need to make connections to also an additional subject area. So in this example, I've used English Language Arts. And remember, what I'll do is drag and drop down. If I have title text initially, I take and drop down title text. Then I would click in there and say, this is my Technology Rich Unit Plan. Put the topic and subject area. Center it if I want. Now I don't need this one. And you can see how I created the topic line for my Technology Rich Unit Plan. Then you can see if I hover over this, this is really a 3-column section, and I'll put headers in each of the sections. In fact, I think I'll take out what this says here. So within that, I have titles. So first thing I did was I drug down this multiple column. Drag down the multiple column, put it below my title. The default is set at 2 columns, and I want to change it to 3. Look at how easy that is. And then, of course, you can't type in here until you've drugged down an element that allows for typing. So I will first drag down this title piece. This is going to say subject area. Then I'll drag down another one. This one will say subject 1. Drag it again. Subject 2. Whoops. Went in the wrong place. You see that? So I'm going to delete it. And then down here underneath that, I'm going to X out of my subject. But remember, this one was going to be science, so I'll drag down maybe a little bit paragraph. It has a smaller font. That's why I chose that one. And so here I'll put science, And then I'll do it again. Let's center this as well. Drag down an element one more time, and let's call this English Language Arts. You can see how I'm putting this together. And then as I complete this, I'm going to publish just so you can see what it looks like, because it looks like there's lots of dead space within it. But you'll see as I work on this a little bit. And let me go over here. That the dead area was kind of eliminated. And now, really, I'll have, these are my titles, and then here I have Science and English Language Arts. So then you'll drag and create kind of this same template. I want you to include the objectives, and you can put objectives and put TEKs or whatever kind of objective that you need in parentheses. So write the objective in words. The learner will observe, demonstrate, collect, graph, whatever they're going to do, compare and contrast. But in parentheses, put the TEKS objective that relates to that particular content area and activity. I want you to write some essential questions. What do you hope the students should be able to answer at the end of the unit? That's in the form of an essential question, and I've given you kind of a criteria for that. When you get down to the activities section, you'll see, and I'm going to go down to my edit mode again. In the activities section, I went ahead and put just a 2-column piece that I drug down, and then you can move how far over this is. But really, these activities we're going to assume will be done in order, probably all in whatever your main content area is. So you're not planning activities for some other teacher to teach. This is something you're going to still do within your content area. And as I list the activities in order, I can create live links to these things. So when I say I want students to start off by watching their T's, I'm going to highlight the word T's. I'm going to click on my link button. Remember, I have all these options here on where I want them to go, but my T's is on YouTube, and so I'm going to put the web address here for my video, whatever it ends up being. So you can paste the URL to your T's here and say save. When I say I want for them to answer questions and complete a Venn diagram, maybe I have a Venn diagram that I want them to complete, and I saw it on that Holt Tools that one of your classmates taught me to use. It's an interactive graphic organizer tool. So you can highlight and make a link to the Holt Tool website that has the Venn diagram where you want them to actually do that. When they're doing the treasure hunt, when they do the treasure hunt, you highlight and you are going to click on a link and put the actual link to a page on your website. So here in the drop-down menu, I'll choose a page that's already been created on my website. So I'll choose the treasure hunt. You can also link to files that are on your computer. So if you have a something like a, I needed to click that button for that to work. If you have a PDF document that you've created that you want the students to be able to answer, if you want them, remember you created a graph at one time, that a lesson plan for a graph, you can link your lesson plan graph for their unit plan. You can also choose to use a Web 2.0 tool that you found and have students create a product on that. The rubric for this assignment asks you to create, have your students be exposed to 4 technology tools, and they have to create a product with 1. So you should go ahead and make plans for them to do something as a result using technology themselves for a tool to display what they've learned. The final phase is you'll need to include not only activities but also an assessment. And the assessment hopefully you've read your chapter. You're on assessing technology products. One great tool for that are rubrics. And there's a great website that can help you with the creation of a tool. It's called Rubistar. And so I've got Rubistar here. Rubistar is rubistar.forteachers.org. Here, they help you with rubric creation and make it as easy as possible. So let's say I want students to actually do something with Storybird, Web 2.0 tool where kids write stories. Well, then I can come over here and choose an already started rubric, digital storytelling rubric, let's say. I do need to enter some information here by the time I want to save it and say, yes, it can be a temporary rubric. And in fact, I'm not going to be able to do anything with it unless I go ahead and put something in here. Okay, so here's where it's fabulous. I can choose criteria that they have already determined for my story. So perhaps I want them to be able to show that they have a conversation style voice in what they're reading. Then as soon as I choose that option, it scales a criteria across the page for how that might be measured. Then maybe what I want to do is include and grade on the images that they choose. Then it scales some things across about images. And if there's a part of it that doesn't seem to apply directly, I can still highlight and edit part of it out, but remember to edit across the page as you do that. Then maybe I want the duration to be 4 minutes or less. Now I don't see anything here much on, well, here can be purpose. Does it have a dramatic question? Whether that's important. I also could put my own criteria. So maybe I want to say content. And I can say, you know, it clearly demonstrates and then though I have to take this and copy it and put it over here and say, well, maybe she just demonstrates. And then over here, demonstrates okay. So you see how you can edit that and make it your own. In the end, what I'll do is submit it. And here is my nicely done rubric. I can take this rubric and I can download it. If I download it, then that makes it something that I can later upload onto my unit plan page. I can also just copy what's here and paste it into Word and then make that a PDF and link it that. Anyway, this is a very helpful rubric creation, and you saw maybe how many options there were. So you'll want to create one of these, save it to a Word doc, and then you can link it here as a document.